So about the artifacts, there's some really interesting information. We have a colleague, Ellery Fram, from the US, who does XRF work on obsidians and magnetics with volcanic rocks. He works at the Rock Magnetism Institute in Minnesota. He has sourced all of the obsidian, not in Armenia, but a vast quantity of it. And he takes highly contextualized samples, and he takes multiple samples, looking for variability in any given source. He has the geochemistry for all those sources. He comes every summer, and he takes his portable his PXRF. He zaps every single artifact that comes out of the ground. So we have thousands of artifacts sourced to the different volcanoes. I'll talk about this in my lecture, but the vast majority come from obsidian from the Gutanisar volcanic complex, which is a 70 square kilometer thing. So it's kind of coarse grain. But there's also material from Hatis volcano. There's material from Sakuniats to the north. There's material from Metz and Poker Sevkar, which is 80 kilometers away. We have material from, what's the? Metz and Poker Arteni. Then we have Sevkar, which is 120 kilometers to the south. Sunik. So the people who are coming to this site are covering vast distances very quickly, because we find the pieces from these distant sources are no bigger or smaller than the pieces from the local sources. So they're not eating them up and using them as they go. Well, they are, but they're moving so quickly they're not exhausting these artifacts. So we get artifacts from 120 kilometers that are this big and this big. There's no difference in technology between the raw material sources. They're doing the same thing to everything. But no one does this sort of research. You know, if they source anything, it's 10 artifacts, but we're sourcing thousands here. We're doing it at Lusakert Cave and all the sites we're working on. So we get a really unique window into mobility abilities and territory size. The fact that people must have had a very deep and sophisticated knowledge of the environments they're going through, all of the risks and opportunities of those environments, where to find things at different times of year, et cetera, et cetera. Without the sourcing, we couldn't say anything about that.
It's also very strange that they, with all these obsidian around, they carry for 80
I agree.
kilometers.
But if you think about it, you know, where are the gas stations? It kind of limits how far you drive. Stone limits how far you move or what you carry with you. There are no restrictions here in terms of raw material.
Maybe of different quality.
No, they're all the same. There are no quality differences. It's homogeneous.
Euphrates River in Syria, I found that they produce handexes from special kind of flint, only of yellow, only like honey.
So I have the pebbles because those come from this deposit here. They don't belong here. They're not. The lithology is very homogeneous, and they do not belong here. And so I've collected them because they could be hammerstones. They could be. I think it's possible. I'm very happy with them. So we have none of these before, but this year we have like 10 of them. And I'm confident only because they don't belong here naturally. And all of these are kind of chalky because they've been covered in baby powder because of 3D scanning. So we scan them all.
Okay, I thought it's because of this.
No, they're not carbonates. No.
Are they typical flakes from fishing bifaces?
Yes, I have bifacial thinning flakes. I have resharpening flakes. See, this is the only sort of core one of the nicest cores we have. But there are also things like this, which are not as nice. Sorry. There are some, I don't know if we have them here, bifaces that ended their life as cores. Oh, you got it? Okay, yeah. So big flake removals. This is probably, if you had to say what the type specimen for Nor Geghi is, it's these thick transverse scrapers made on very short, wide flakes with abrupt retouch. They're very common.
Déjeté.
It's a big fat déjeté-like thing, yeah. Yeah. This is probably a core of some sort, yeah. I have not analyzed any of this material. It's fresh from last month. So the hand axes come in lots of different sizes, lots of different shapes, usually made on flakes, but this one is on a pebble. Right.
When you do the XRF, you